am I supposed to like him when he's behaving this way? I don't know. I just made an unpopular opinions book talk and I feel like I'm gonna come to regret it. Hey guys, welcome to a reading vlog. Hopefully this one sees the light of day because currently it is April 21st, 8 p.m. and I have tried to film at least 3 different reading vlogs this month and none of them have been working out. Today we are reading The Summer I Turned Pretty trilogy. So, fun fact, maybe very, very sad fact, that's like a really old meme, isn't it? Currently, for the month of April, I feel like this is a rewind of last month in March when I only read like 5 books at the end of March and I was like, let's do this video to speed it up. Yeah, I've only read 4 books this month. Ugh. Here's the bright side. I have already read these books like a year ago. Not like I already read them. Okay, you get what I'm saying. I've already read these books before, so I know that they're like fairly easy to get through, plus they're only like this long. So honestly, here's what I'm thinking we're gonna do. We're gonna finish all 3 of these books tonight. Is that wishful thinking? Maybe it is. Here's what makes me think that I can do it, because usually a book within this length takes me about 2 hours to read, maybe a little bit more. But these are young adult books, so they're very easily written. And also the font size is pretty big on these. Yeah, last night I stayed up until 5 o'clock in the morning reading A Long Way Down by Kristen Becker Ritchie. So I'm pretty sure I can do these. I'm pretty sure I can. I would have read these earlier into the month, but I was waiting for it to be nice outside all of April. You know what they say, April showers bring May flowers. It has been raining literally the entirety of April here in good old Indiana, good old Indianapolis. So I was like, how could I do a reading vlog when it's not sunny outside, when the weather's not nice, when it's literally about the summer I turned pretty? I don't know. You know, it's summer, beachy vibes, you know. But yeah, so nothing that happens in these books is going to be a surprise to me. I've read all of them, so I know everything that happens. We're starting with The Summer I Turned Pretty by Jenny Han. Also, this is going to be spoiler free, just so everyone knows.
J'aime sentir la musique. Je peux sentir le jazz, ça me fait quelque chose.
Et la musique classique, ça vous fait quelque chose?
Oh, pas tellement.
This is such a random cut to scene, but right now I'm sitting outside in my backyard on my deck because I was like, you know what, it's such a nice day, why would I spend the rest of it reading in my room instead of soaking up the remaining 2 hours of sunlight? So I moved it out here, put the pallet down, we have my water jug, we have both The Summer I Turned Pretty and It's Not Summer Without You, depending on how long we stay out here, and also have to freaking scratch these ugly stickers off, but let's dive in.
Je peux sentir le jazz, ça me fait quelque chose.
I forgot how much I love this quote because it is so relatable whenever they're going to the beach house. She's talking about how she doesn't know Conrad and Jeremiah in like their winter form. You know, she only ever sees them during the summer. You know, you can feel the nostalgia, but when she's talking about summer, she's talking about them and saying, I'd sit next to the radiator in history class and wonder what they were doing. If they were warming their feet along the radiator somewhere too, counting the days until summer again. This is what I relate to. For me, it was almost like winter didn't count. Summer was what mattered. My whole life was measured in summers. Like I don't really begin living until June, until I'm at the beach in that house. Okay, it's just too good, too good. The story that Belly talks about her first heartbreak when she was 12 always gets to me because we've all been there. We have all been there. Okay guys, so I had to change into a sweatpants and a sweatshirt because I really I was like, it feels so nice outside, but the sun is setting, so it's getting colder out, so a t-shirt and shorts would not suffice. So I just wanted to say, I'm literally only like 27 pages into this right now, and I've read it before, but it's bringing up all of those emotions because it's like the, you know, it's literally called The Summer I Turned Pretty, and it like resonates. I feel like it resonates with so many people. That's why it's so well loved, because there's so many things that you can relate to within the story. Like the whole entire first book is essentially the summer that, you know, like when you're going through all summers of your childhood and everything's kind of the same, then there's that one summer that everything kind of changes a little bit and you're more confident and you realize that things are starting to change. All those childhood memories and the nostalgia, it's just like chef's kiss. I forgot how good this is. Update time, I'm still outside. I set up some little lights, some Christmas lights I had in my room on the deck, but here's the thing, it is getting super cold because it's not summertime, so it's not going to still be like 80 or 70 degrees when the sun goes down. It's going to be like 30, 40. I am almost 100 pages into The Summer I Turned Pretty, and it's weird because I literally remember every single thing that's happened. So like every single thing that I'm reading, I can remember everything that happened. When I go back and reread books, I have forgotten some things, but everything is like still fresh and clear. But I still am enjoying it. I don't know, I feel like the first book was really memorable for me for some reason. I feel like the rest of the books just weren't as memorable for me, but we shall see how late we stay up tonight. I do want to read all 3 of these books and try to edit a video tonight. So it's the next day and I am still reading The Summer I Turned Pretty because last night after it was cold outside, I came up to my room, but like I said, the night previously I'd only gotten an hour of sleep, so I was so tired, and as soon as I hit my bed, I literally fell asleep with this book like on top of me, like I was clocked out. But right now I'm about 70% through. I have this much left of the book, and this book is just like, it's so good. It is like a book that I think that I would like want to read like every summer, because the vibes and the feeling of this book, like I said, it's like almost so nostalgic for me, which is a weird word to put with this, because it's not like this is a book that I read when I was like 12, you know, it wasn't like a monumental book for me, but it's nostalgic in the way that you can so relate to Belly and everything that she's going through and all of those like first scenarios and everything. Like it is just the cutest, and it just feels like a warm hug in the summertime. Like even some of the things that she describes, like being on the beach and sitting on the beach towels and going in the house, like it's just like when you're going to the beach and you're on those like beach vacations, you can like so relate to that, which is so weird because the first time when I read these last year, I didn't really love them. In this book, I'm always like, I want you guys to comment if you genuinely like Conrad. Like if you genuinely are like, I love Conrad, because Conrad is giving us nothing. He's giving us very much nothing in this book. I cannot remember the rest of the books, you know, like douchebag boys that you're just kind of like, oh, I think he's so cute and he's giving me nothing, but like I really like him. It's just like, it's never good. And I'm not a Jeremiah stan either, for your guys' information. I don't love Jeremiah in this book either. It's so funny, like rereading this book, and I can remember like all the little things that I picked up on before the big thing at the end of this book. I'm pretty sure it's at the end of it's at the end of this book. Like I picked up on all the little things, you know, you get what I'm getting at. I picked up on those the first time, and it's so funny rereading them how you can definitely pick up on them. Like it was like when I was reading it for the first time, I was like, oh, I feel like this is what's gonna happen. And then when you're rereading it, you're like, it was so clear. It was so clear what was gonna happen. I'm about to finish it and then check in with you guys after. I just finished Summer I Turned Pretty, and I decided my official rating, I decided on it, is going to be a 4.5 stars, because this isn't quite a 5-star book for me, but it's like almost there. Like I would even go as far as saying 4.75. I think that's what we're gonna go with, a 4.75 stars. I never used to do the whole entire like 4.25, 4.75 rating, but sometimes it just fits because it's a little bit more than a 4.5, but it's not quite 5, so 4.75 stars. Absolutely loved it. I forgot that in the end, kind of one wins over the other. We're about to get heavy. We're about to get heavy into the second book. So, which one's the second book? Oh wait, this one's? I'm so confused. Wait, which one? Oh wait, this one's the conclusion. Wait, what? This is the second book. Now I have to literally get this stupid freaking sticker off the side of this one as well. Did I ever even explain what these books are about? Did I really go through this vlog and never explain? So the Summer I Turned Pretty books, it follows Belly, Steven, who is Belly's brother, and Conrad and Jeremiah, who are brothers, and they go to this beach house every single summer with Susanna, who is Jeremiah and Conrad's mom and is Belly's mom's best friend. So it's kind of like their moms are best friends since they were kids, so of course they're gonna be best friends, but they don't like live in the same state. So in the summertime they basically go to this beach house that Susanna owns, and they all stay the whole entire summer at this beach house, and you kind of learn about all of her childhood at this beach house. And in the second one, we're kind of picking up where the last book left off. Let's go. My camera battery though is kind of low-key dying, so we're gonna charge it for a little bit and then I'll update you guys. I'm already 40% through. It's Not Summer Without You. I just still, even when I reread this, and I can't remember everything because something that I'm reading right now, like about prom and what her and Jeremiah have to go do in like the beginning part of the book, I'm like, I just feel like Jenny Han even tries to write it where the flashbacks or whatever make you like Conrad, and I just don't. Like, he gives absolutely nothing. Like, he's not even doing the bare minimum, and I'm supposed to be rooting for him? Like, how am I supposed to be rooting for Conrad? Hey guys, so I just finished It's Not Summer Without You, and this book was like 3.5-ish stars for me. I don't know exactly. I feel like I'm leaning more towards the like 3 stars. I felt like in this book it was almost like a filler. So you know, sometimes when you're reading like a book series and one book kind of seems like it's just kind of like a filler, kind of like trying to build up for what the next book is going to be about, and that's what this one felt like. This one just felt like kind of trying to move on from stuff that happened in the last book. Like, you get nowhere love triangle wise in this. Stagnant? I don't know, like I feel like not much happens. Like, you're reading this book and it really only takes place over like a couple of days. 3 stars. 3 stars from me. I don't know why I feel like I can taste blood in my mouth, but I feel like that's like concerning. Now we are about to read We'll Always Have Summer, which I've literally read all of these books already. I do not root for either of the brothers. If there was one person that I would be rooting for, it would be Jeremiah. I just really don't root for either of them, because here's my thing. The Summer I Turned Pretty is literally the summer I turned pretty. You know, it's like the summer that everyone kind of started to take notice of Belly. And to me, it just feels like it's all comes down to looks. And Conrad is definitely a different type of toxic. So I definitely don't mess with him either. That's really all I'm going to say. I don't want to get into like spoiler territory. Just took off the sticker. Yay. I was about to say we'll see what this book holds, but I know already. Actually, I feel like I remember the least about this one, but I do remember the big stuff.
Start your computations.
I really started off this book liking Jeremiah, and I just don't. I'm just kind of like, why did we have to do the whole like love triangle thing? Why couldn't we have just stuck with the original plot of the movie? I don't know. I liked him at first, like in the beginning of this book, and then very quickly I was like, okay. I'm on page 56 for those of you who know, and this just feels super gaslighty to me. To me, this feels like not the proper way to handle the situation and feels very gaslighty. And if you've already read this series, I will get more into this at the end of the video. Hello, is it me you're looking for? Hey guys, so it is very much the next day and I finished We'll Always Have Summer last night. I literally finished it within like an hour and a half, 2 hours. I don't know why I got through this one super fast. I'm gonna start getting all jumbled up here. So It's Not Summer Without You, I said was probably about a 3 to 3.5. I would say this one was probably a 3.25 and this one was a 3, but this was like a 4.75. It was my least favorite out of all of them. The first book, definitely my favorite, which is so weird because now I remember, I could not remember why I really didn't love this series as much as everybody else. I was like, why do I not love it? Because when I was rereading this, I was like, oh my God, I'm loving the vibes. Everything about it is so cool. Like, why am I not absolutely loving Why did I not absolutely love it when I read it the first time? And then I read these two books and remembered why. So now I'm just gonna kind of go over a little spoiler-free synopsis for you guys, and then we're gonna go to our little spoiler discussion. But don't worry, I'll tell you guys when I'm getting into my spoiler discussion for those of you who haven't read the series yet. But right now, we are spoiler-free still. My overall, if you guys are watching this and have not read the series yet, and you're asking yourselves, well, Destiny, does that mean you don't recommend this series? No, I would still very much recommend this series. They're short chapters, which is always so satisfying when you're reading books and they are like very short chapters. Also, the vibes of these books are absolutely chef's kiss immaculate, especially the very first one. I feel like the first one has the best vibes. So you may be like, Destiny, why did you love this book and not these two? This was my least favorite, and it's because like, I don't know, character development and character downhillness came out of nowhere. Like, I swear, not getting into spoilers, when I read this third book, none of the characters, just all of a sudden, everyone was different. Like, I picked up this book and I'm reading them back to back, and I'm like, okay, what happened? I know it's like takes place a few years in the future, like from the book beforehand. These characters just started acting completely different, and I was like, okay. And there was some stuff that I can't get into because that's very spoilerish, but just some stuff that I didn't personally like. And with the second book, just the premise of this book, like I said, it takes place over like a few days, and the premise of this book I just didn't enjoy. That is my spoiler-free discussion before I send you guys off that haven't read these books on your very merry way. I do want to say that reading this book, it started making me think about books that I absolutely love because they just give you that summertime feeling, like it makes you so happy. I think I'm going to make a video in like the next few weeks because it's like springtime. Like, we just got to spring. I kind of need to like pump the brakes, but in like mid-May, I want to release a video. Why does that sound so like high profile? I want to make a video of summer reads, like reads that you should read in the summertime. I just feel like the vibes of these books, so good. This is where the spoiler-freeness of this video ends. So if you have not read all three of these, because I'm going to be talking about all three of these, so if you have not read the whole entire series, please click off. Please click off, because this is where we're going to start getting heavy and deep into the plot, the synopsis, start tearing it apart. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, do all of the stuff that you guys know what to do, and I love you guys so much. Thank you guys again. This is the first video I'm posting from when I hit 40K. So thank you guys so much. I made so many posts, but I just want to say it again that I'm so grateful for you guys. Like, this is like a dream come true for me, and I'm doing what I love to do, and you guys are making it possible for me, and it would not be possible without you guys. So I want to say thank you guys so much again. I appreciate and love every single last one of you, and I will see you guys when I see ya. Peace. Okay, now that they're gone, kidding, but we're now going to spoilerly discuss all 3 of these books. I'm gonna start with The Summer I Turned Pretty. So this was a 4.5. I just love the like feeling of, I've said it so many times in this video, but the nostalgia of this book. Like, reading this book took me back personally to like summers when I was like 11, 12, 13, and I feel like those were like monumental summers. Like, as I'm reading this book, it's so funny, like memories are flashing through my mind of like me, because this, like, The Summer I Turned Pretty is because it was a monumental summer for her. Like, you know, it's like the summer that everything changed. Like I said, I was like going through, and like I related to almost everything in this book, like everything I feel like everyone has went through at one point in their life, and that's why I think this series is so widely loved, especially the first book. So for me, this book was absolutely amazing. The love triangle isn't very prevalent in this book because I think it's kind of towards the end. Yeah, it's towards the end, the very end of the book, when Jeremiah kind of tells Belly that he has feelings for her, and I kind of rolled my eyes at that because I was like, literally, because it's like she's physically changed, like her looks at the beginning of the book, and that's like a huge thing, like The Summer I Turned Pretty, relatively. And I was just like, okay, she's the same person, but now that she's more attractive, you like her. Like, I was just kind of like, oh, okay. And like, for me, I more rooted for Conrad throughout the whole entire series. Even though I said I didn't like him, I still don't, but I rooted for him more because you could always tell in her stories and everything that she's describing that he always had feelings for her, no matter how she looked, anything. He just always was attracted to her and always had a little bit of a soft spot for her. And with Jeremiah, it just felt so like face value, but the love triangle is not prevalent in this book because it's more her focusing on getting over Conrad, and Cameron is like the love interest of this book, which I found was so weird. I could never like root for them because I knew it was just like a rebound sort of situation. The only thing that annoyed me is like the lack of communication I will never get. Like, Conrad just never wanting to tell Belly that he has feelings for her. So odd. And I know people are gonna be like, it's because he could tell that Jeremiah liked her. No ma'am, that didn't really happen until this book. Speaking of this book, of course at the end you figure out that Susanna gets her cancer, comes back, which is so heartbreaking. And I remember finishing that book the first time I read it, and then I picked up this book expecting it to be like, oh, and the book kind of starts off, you know, how does this book fools you. It's like her daydream that she was having about her and Conrad over at Cousins, and it was so freaking cute. And it's really her best friend Taylor talking to her, and Susanna had like died 2 months before, and I was like, I really started this book thinking that this summer was going great and that it's the next summer and everything was good, and it's not. It is sad because Susanna is this like light, you almost feel like this light airiness about her, and I'm so scared to see this TV show because I feel like in the TV show it's gonna pull at my heartstrings more than it did in the book, because I swear always a live action setting, it just messes with me. So this is kind of when the love triangle starts a little bit, but it really doesn't even start until like the very end of the book, because that's when like Jeremiah and Belly kiss and like Conrad sees them, but Conrad literally pushes Belly away throughout this whole entirety of this book because he thinks that Jeremiah likes her, so he wants to push Belly away even though they were already together first. But that annoyed me too, because I was like, okay, this isn't even a relationship. Like, Conrad is just stringing her along. I felt like I never got enough to like genuinely like either of them, not even Conrad. Like, I just feel like I never got that to where it was like you see them together actually interacting in a romanticized way. Like, I don't feel like I ever fully got that. And then all of a sudden in the end, when it's like her and Jeremiah, and I just felt like she didn't even really like Jeremiah, but she was really heartbroken over how Conrad was treating her, so to almost spite him, she decided to like Jeremiah back. And talking about that, that means we're going into We'll Always Have Summer. This, I really, it was still like entertaining for me, but I just didn't love it. And I feel like that is because I hated Jeremiah in this book. Now earlier, if you're watching the spoiler free section, when I was saying all of a sudden the characters did like a full 180, And I understand because in this book she talks more about how like it was kind of a development because she had never seen winter Conrad, winter Jeremiah, fall, you know, like she had only been 2 months out of every single year with them. She had never seen them like at Christmases or spring or fall, like had never seen them any other time. And I was like, all of a sudden Jeremiah is this like frat dude douchebag that likes to drink all the time, and he's like literally the worst. Conrad all of a sudden like did a full 180. We get his point of view because you get Jeremiah's point of view in this book, which I felt was so unnecessary. It added absolutely nothing. All of a sudden, like I think one time like he's describing he had a girlfriend for a few months at college, and like she was asking him like, have you ever been in love? And he was like, yes. And he was talking about how much he absolutely loved Belly, but I was like, really? Because I just read the first 2 books and I didn't get any of that, not a single spark of that. But anyway, so obviously this book starts out with like Belly talking about, oh my god, me and Jeremiah were this like perfect couple, or this or that, which I already knew was gonna happen. But I remember when I first read it, I was like, okay, like I don't know. And then I remember the scene when they go to the party and he's talking to, what's her name, Lacey? And I was like, girl, something about this just doesn't seem right. And then she like goes to the bathroom and basically finds out that Jeremiah cheated on her over spring break with this Lacey girl. And here is my issue with that. It was like Jeremiah was the gaslight king. He gaslighted himself all the way through that situation. Let me explain to you why. When Belly comes to him and is like, hey, I just found out that you cheated on me. And he starts automatically crying. We didn't even do anything. Like, it didn't even mean anything. And then he tells her like, well, yeah, like we did this and that. And it's like, I remember when I first read this book, I was like, so this is where the love triangle is going to come in, because Conrad's going to sweep her off her feet and Jeremiah's going to be mad. No. Belly is mad at him for probably 6 hours. Probably. And then she calls him up and she's like, or is it longer than that? Or is it like a day? It was like a day. And she calls him up and she's like, okay, I need to come see you and talk to you. And then he comes and proposes to her to like sweep it under the rug. Like, look, obviously I love you so much that I want to marry you. That felt very gaslighty to me. It felt like you were putting one huge, humongous problem and taking another big thing to distract her with to kind of sweep that right under the rug. No, ma'am. No, sir. No, sir. And why was I getting Ross and Rachel vibes so many times? So many parallels. I was like, Miss Jenny Han, are you a Friends fan? Because first of all, the whole entire we were on a break thing. And then second of all, Jeremiah kind of swooping in on this wedding to kind of like tell Belly that he loves her, like Ross and Rachel did when Ross was getting married to Emily. I don't know. I feel like Miss Jenny Han watched Friends. I feel like she did. I didn't like Jeremiah at all because, like I said, he was like this frat douchebag all of a sudden. Like, he did not act like that. Like, you know, they talk about the Jeremiah that makes everyone laugh and is always cracking jokes. And it's like, so your cheating sack of crap is the real person that you are? And Mr. Conrad, like, did a full 180. And I couldn't help but root for them. Oh my god. And like the epilogue, like their little wedding night, so cute. And let me tell you, I did like that right after Conrad kind of like says his feelings and her and Jeremiah don't get married, I was happy that it didn't just go straight into their relationship, and that she went to Spain and studied abroad and he wrote her letters, and that it wasn't like a relationship that fully went on. It was still some time, because you can't jump from one extreme to the next. Like, that's just not okay. And I loved like how you see them get married and go to, it was just so sweet. Like, the ending really got to me. But yeah, that is basically my whole entire synopsis, my whole entire opinion. So yeah, would I recommend these? Definitely. I love the vibes of them. They made me feel so warm inside. That is the end of today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, give it a huge thumbs up down below. And if you guys like me, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below and the post notification bell. All of the YouTube stuff that you guys know how to do. Okay, I'm saying this for the second time in this video, just to reiterate in case you forgot. But I do love you guys. Thank you again so much for 40,000. My mind is blown forever, and I appreciate you guys so much. And I'll see you guys when I see you. Peace.
Start your computations.